Just for context, we had planned an episode, but I did not write any of it.
What I've written needs tweaking.
So I figured, let's do some self-care to start off to get ourselves out of a little funk, and then just chat about emotions. All right.
About muffins?
Muffins, yes. Muffins are delicious. Emotions.
Oh, Okay.
You're hungry?
No, I thought you said we're going to talk about muffins, and I was like, okay, I could do that. Connie.
And I'm Kent. And we're Crazy Therapeutic Asians. We talk about mental health and the Asian American community. But today, we're going to be focusing on being honest with our emotions. And we thought, why not do it today when we're both feeling a little bit weird to just
feel off?
Yeah.
You know?
Anxious, sad, lonely, holidays, and all that.
Yes, definitely stressful. Just like that cloud. I think one of the big things I wanted to say, I love the smoke.
know.
Sorry. I love it. Okay, I digress. So we're going to meet today and do a totally different episode, right?
Yeah.
And our energies wasn't in that place.
No.
One of the big motivation factors for today was you said, well, let's come and do it anyway. Let's come and meet anyway, which helps me get out of some of my funk.
I think if we both decided, like, meh, we're going to cancel, I might be still in bed right now. Right?
Exactly. And be staring at my phone and clicking on those clickbaits.
Yep.
Right? Just coming here and meeting you here made a difference. Yeah. And that's a really little step that you really think is hard. But
at least in this brief moment, we'll feel as good as we can. And then if we want to go back and hide in a hole later, we can still do that. That option is still there.
That's right.
Have you ever done like a tea ceremony type thing before?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay.
Not for self-care.
Okay.
So this will be very cool and interesting. But I've done stuff like that for family stuff.
This is sort of the process I learned while I was in Taiwan, and I just found that tea houses were amazing. You gather there, brew tea, and you just chat on and on. And it's like, it's a great feeling. So I thought we'd try that today.
I think that's a great idea. Ooh, what's that?
This is amazing. It was a gift from my brother. It's this thing called Black Opera. Like a fruity tea he brought back from France.
Ooh, that smells good.
Right? So I've been using it very sparingly. Just go at it.
Ooh, very nice.
It's like you have to wash the tea.
Is that what it's called?
Washing
the tea.
On the first brew, you kind of do it, and you use this extra water, and you can just rinse your previous, tea stuff off. Pour these out. And this is the one where you can let it sit a tiny bit.
Ooh, I'm curious. You mentioned that earlier, that these are smell cups, right? So
they're smell cups. They're a bit longer. The idea is that when you pour the tea in here, it will actually trap the fragrance in there, and so you can have a better smell.
Oh, really?
First pour. Normally how I would serve it to someone is I'd set this up for them. So you have like a little set right here. Now, to use the smell cup, you take the cup you're going to drink with, you put it over, and then you're going to flip it over.
Okay,
And you pull up the smell cup slowly to let the water come out. And then you can smell the cup and get an idea of the tea you're going to be drinking.
That smells good. Oh my gosh, you really can get the aroma through that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This cup over here is just to store the tea so it doesn't oversteep.
This is a great self-care. It's quiet, it's meditative.
I mean, nothing against going out and partying, but sometimes I kind of enjoy low-key things where I can just sit and, chat. And if we do this long enough, this process puts you in this really
zen place. I can imagine.
So,
okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ganbei. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
like
really
that.
good. What's nice about this is that there is interaction, but it's not, for me at least, social anxiety producing interaction. It's not trying to push too hard, and it's relaxing versus agitated. I like that very much. Tea time with Crazy Therapeutic Asians. Yes. Well, because it's interesting. I'm telling you, it's like crazy kids, man. We were texting each other earlier, and we both were in this place. And it's not something I would tell everybody, you know. Most people don't know, like, oh, she's still in bed, you know, and she's not feeling like she wants to go outside.
I know. I like almost felt shame when you texted me, like, oh shoot, I'm still in bed right now. And then you're like, oh, I'm in bed. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I had a whole get up. I had my heavy weighted blanket, my noise canceling headphones, and my light box. I have them all on, and then I just kind of hibernate a little bit. Self-care.
Yeah, it is. I guess since we're trying to talk about, like, you know, emotions and being honest with them, what's got you down?
You know, life is nothing out of the ordinary. And I think that's sometimes the frustrating part for me is you think, you know, if there's a crisis or something happens, you're like, okay, now this is a reason why I'm down. But when you look around, you're like, there's no reason why I should be down. That's almost worse because you're like, okay, why am I down? Why do I have no energy? I've slept enough hours, you know, there's no craziness going on presently, and I'm down, you know?
That's precisely where I'm at. I really shouldn't be down.
You're down.
Right? Like, part of me sort of judges myself. It's like, why are you being so down on yourself? Like, why are you wasting time right now? If everything is really that okay,
then what's going on?
Yeah. Oftentimes, I think it's because there are things going on in the back of our head, but either we're not able to express them to ourselves yet, or even just to verbalize it is too scary, and so we'd prefer to just pretend that actually nothing is wrong.
I think a lot of us put on this mask that we have to be happy all the time, we have to be smiling all the time, and that's a lot of weight. And it's like, we can't be like that 24/7. We're human. That's part of the beauty of it. I think that's one thing, like, when clients come in, like for me, and they go, oh, you know, talking about financial difficulties, relationship difficulties, loneliness. It's not like we have a book in our head going, oh, these are the things that will help you, and we have no relation to it. Like, there is a real connection on trying to survive in this world outside of our expectations. You know what I mean? Like, that's the other thing. It's like, you know, it's a hardship. And then we have expectations of ourselves. Like, where did I think I was going to be at this time in my, you know, in this place? It's not it. And we always reflect on ourselves. Like, what does it say about me? It doesn't say anything bad about us, but it's also that understanding, I think. It's like also the cutting of the umbilical cord. I feel still so connected to my family. It's hard to feel what is your obligation to your family and what is the part where you're like, this is me and that's you. You could be however old you are now, but then you go home and suddenly you go right back into that family dynamic. We only can do the best we can. Right? But you still see, and I'm going to say social media, you're like, oh my gosh, that mom's amazing. She meal plans. She has this done. And there's that part of me, it's like, okay, that's not realistic for you. But there's that other part of me going, what can I do to make it realistic? And it's not realistic for me, but easy to get sucked in to the images and stuff.
I mean, that's what they are, though, just images.
That's right.
For a lot of people I see, I feel it's an avoidance mechanism, right? And we're talking being honest with our emotions. That is far from it, right? Like, if you're hurting and you're putting up a smiling face to the world, how are they going to know you need help or want help? It's sort of like when I talk to couples and, you know, how are you feeling? Fine. Okay, you're fine. I'm not going to do anything about it. But you should have known, right? like, why play that game?
Right.
Let's be just honest with our emotions. I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling pissed off about this thing, but it's not directed at you, you know, or whatever is going on. But it is hard when you feel like your reason for feeling bad is not justifiable. It makes it even harder to express that you're hurt,
Right.
Because you start blaming yourself and whatnot. But
So for me, I think it's really difficult when you're in a slump to explain to people what's going on inside you.
yeah.
When you're not in a slump, we love telling people our own advice
Yeah.
for things, right? You know, you should exercise, go out
Have you done
more,
this? Have you done
tried
that?
socializing? And it's all with good intention. I think we all know the feeling of, if it's quote unquote that easy right now, we'd do it. But I'm not
Thank
in
you.
that place.
Exactly.
I mean,
Stop being depressed. Yes, Mom. Why, thank you. I will.
it's done, right?
Yeah. Especially in our personal lives, we want to help out, and I know
Absolutely.
a lot of parents want to do that too. That's sort of what makes therapists and therapy, the process of it, different, right?
Yeah.
Like, our job isn't to give you advice or fix
Absolutely.
your situation, and I'm not here to tell you how to feel. I'm saying it's okay to feel how you're feeling right now. There's nothing wrong with being down, and I'm here to listen if you want to share it, and you'll find the solution that works for you.
I want to know your story because your story is valid. I think, you
Yeah.
know, people are just, you know, many times we think I'm doing things wrong, I'm looking at things wrong, and it's like, no, that's your story. That's how you look at things. It's not wrong or right, it's yours.
So, digression for our usual format, but
Yes.
I think we're feeling adventurous today.
Yes.
All right.
And I feel better now. Do you feel better? I feel like coming here and talking with you and doing the tea ceremony, just the interaction,
You know,
I do feel better. I feel a little more grateful.
that's nice.
So thank you.
No
I love
problem.
this. I love this ceremony and you sharing. I think that's a big part of it. It's being so honest and sharing.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like a privilege.
There's an example of why being honest with your emotions is helpful sometimes. Like, it would have been really sad if we were like outside observers, knowing that both of us were not feeling great, and we both put on smiles and
Yeah,
came in
and
and
go,
we're like,
"Hey."
hey, we're doing this episode, and we're
Right.
gonna be upbeat and cheery, and then like we're all like, I'm dying. So,
So I'm trying to hold up, I'm trying to hold mask. It's so exhausting.
yeah, like if you're with people who you feel safe with,
Yeah.
like try to be emotionally honest.
Absolutely. Create a little safety net, which I like to do.
Yeah.